Hello listener, welcome to lecture 5. So we are going to study the joins, and it is very important for anybody who is a business analyst, data analyst, developer. They really have to query more than one table in order to fetch the data from more than one table. So what is the join? Joins is what, like you have two or more table where the data is stored, and when you join them you get the collective result set for it. So let's say you have some data, the customer data is in the customer table, order data is in the order table, and you need to look into that what items or what order are placed by what customer. So in this situation, in this scenario, you really have to query more than one table. For that, where the joins come into existence. So joins are used for retrieving the data from the multiple tables that are related to each other. So how they are related? So there are, I explained the primary concept and the foreign key. We really did not get a chance to define. So let me show you how you can first set up a foreign key relation with the tables. So when you come over here, the good thing with the pub sample database is that at any point you can go and check out that DB and see how the tables are structured and how the relationship are set up. So let's go to the pub DB, and if you look into the employee table, you will see over here employee ID is primary key, job ID FK is the foreign key, and then there is again the pub ID, which is a foreign key. So here the two foreign keys are defined, and clearly it says that this job ID foreign key is linked to job tables over here with its job ID column, and similarly the pub ID foreign key is linked to the pub info table with this pub ID. So the other way of defining how you can define the foreign key is that using the SQL query. What you can do is, this is a shortcut which is going to be really helpful for you at work. You can simply go to script table as create to new query window, and here you will see it has created a script for you, like how you can create a table and how you can put the constraints. So if you come over here at the foreign key, if you see here it says alter table employee, add this foreign key job ID which is referencing to the job table. Similarly, employee with the pub ID, we were looking into the wrong table earlier, so it is referencing to the publisher table with its pub ID. So okay, let's take these two commands and just copy it, and let's come over our demo DB. So we have a table, say customer, and then we have the order table. So this customer order table you would have actually created in the lecture 3, where I ask you that there is already a slide which says okay, please create these two tables with those columns. So let's say the customer ID is what we want to make a foreign key, which will be referencing to the customer over in the customer tables. So since we copied it, we just do a new query, paste in, and we know this is the demo DB. So what we simply do is that we say we want to put in orders table, DERS with the customer ID, and which will be referencing the customers table with its ID. ID is the only column over here. I don't need this, I just simply remove it, and then execute. Done. Refresh it. Column, the orders table we need to refresh. Columns, and here you see the foreign key. So this is how you create the foreign key. Even if you're not creating, you can still query these two tables in order to fetch the data. They really need not to explicitly do it, but foreign keys are really created in order to maintain the referential integrity. Okay, so come back to joins over here. So now we have created the foreign key too. Even if you don't have a foreign key, you can still query two tables based on a one common particular column. But foreign key is a good because it's a constraint you are putting in that this column should refer to the customer ID. So that's when, if you go back over here, if there is a customer ID 123 exists only in the customer table, and if you try to put in the order customer ID with the 4, it is gonna fail. because this customer ID does not exist in this customer, then how you are able to insert it. So it is kind of a constraint which is a good practice to put in. So lecture 5. So earlier I was showing you this lecture 3 where I ask you to create all these tables, so please make sure that you have all these table exist before you practice the lecture 5. And okay, so the joins. So joins are of three type: inner join, outer join, then you have the cross join, and then there is also the self join. 4 types of the joins are there. What is the inner join? You have these two tables, so when you join these two tables using the inner join, when you just say the join only, which by default is an inner join, it will pull only the common records. So the record which exists in the 1 and in the 2 and are common in both tables, those get picked up. So if you look into the sample query, what is it says is that it is joining the order table and the customer table based on the customer ID, right? And it says wherever this customer IDs are matching, give me the customer name. That's mean those are the customer which have placed the orders. So let's run this over here. I have a column name, customers with an ID, orders have the customer ID. Okay, so run it. Okay, you have these customers which have placed the order. So let's do the select star from customer. Execute. So if you see, these are the customer ID and these are the customer which have placed the order. So I have all of the customer which have placed the order. Let's insert a one customer record where the order is not placed through. Okay, so okay, so I've added a one customer and I do not have entry for this customer in the order table. So let's see what the first query will give me. Will it give me the Mike record? No, it will not, because there is a no matching record for the for my key in the orders table. So that is what the inner join does. So now similarly, come back to the outer join, what it does. So outer join are of three type, basically left, right, and the full outer join. What the left join does is that even if there is a no matching row, it will pull that no matching row from the left table and it will display you. So come back here. So this is our left, this is our right. So it okay, let's do the right outer join and then run it. So did you notice Mike is there and there is a null for that order ID? What does it do? So in the right outer join, what I'm saying is that in the my right table, which is the second table, even if there is a no record on the left table on this order table, but still do show me. This is what the right outer join does. And left outer join does the opposite of it. It will have queried the order. Since I do not have anything which is in the order but not in the customer, so I'm not gonna really get anything from it. So right, okay, this is the left join and the right outer join, and okay, full outer join. It will join the tables fully, like it will get all the records from both the tables. Let's do it. So don't think that it has given you the same results at like the left outer join. No, if there would be any record in the order table, it would have display it here too. Okay, so since we are playing with a very small set of records, so that's why you're not really seeing a difference. But if there would be any record in the order, full outer join would have pulled that up too. Okay, Okay, so now come to the cross join. Cross join is the cross product of two tables. This means that every row of the one table will be combined with every row of the another table. Okay, so if you look into this example, movies and the members are the two table, and if you want to get all the members record against all the movie record, let's say you want to see, you know, all the what movie is watched by all these members, so you will do a cross join. Okay, so that is the cross join. Now come to the self join. Self join is generally done in order to query the same table or to compare the value of the one column with the another value of the same column in the same table. That is what the self join is for. Okay, so when you look into this here, you will see, you know, there are the two tables, basically the same table, the customer table you are querying, but you have given an alias name. You are saying customer with a and then the customer with a B. Okay, and then you are saying I want the customer name from customer table only. Okay, where the customer ID is not equal to the again customer ID. That's when you are trying to find a record where you know, you are basically, what you are trying to do is that for the same city you are trying to find the customer names. So let's run it. I have to check if I have a same let's put some data for the same city in the customer table. Oh, sorry. Okay, so now let's run this column. Yeah, I have a name as a customer name, and then I have the IT instead of the customer ID field. Then run it. Oh, I have address. Okay, refresh. Okay, instead of a city I have address over here, so you can either change the column name or you can change it over here in query. Where's the city? Okay, so what does it did is, if you see over here, you are querying the same table and you are saying wherever the city is the same, get me those customer name. So instead of saying where address is Irvine or where address is Irving, you cannot do it when you have millions of a record one by one. You cannot do a where clause and you cannot type in hundreds of cities. So this is one of the way in order to query the same table to get the records. Okay, so let me paste it over here for you guys. All right, so same way you can play with the group by with the join. You can have a group by when you have a join, so you can play with that one too. Now the subqueries. What are the subqueries? When a query contain another query is called the subquery. Like you have select supplier name from suppliers where exists, then a inner query starts, right? This is called the inner query as well as the subquery, where a query contains the another query is called the subqueries. So the subqueries is the exist, in, and any. What the exist operator does, it used for the existence of any record in the subquery. So if you look into this, what it say, give me the supplier name from the supply table where the product table with the supplier ID, where this supplier ID exists and the price is below 20. If there is any such record exist, then give me the supplier name. Okay, so these are the queries which you can practice it by yourself. I do not want to stretch this video, so I'm leaving all those for you. But if you have any difficulty in understanding the concept, you can surely write back to me. The in operators allow you to specify the multiple values. So basically, let's say you want to fetch for a customer where the country is in Germany, France, and UK. You are interested, then you can use the in query. Okay, and then the any, what it does is that it will return you true if the subquery values meet the condition. That's mean you are trying to get a product where product type, where the product ID is any, like if in order detail any of the product ID exists which is in the product table, then get the record where the quantity is 10. Okay, so that is what the SQL any does. Then you have the interview question like subqueries versus join, which one to use and why use unions. So these are the very important, so do not ignore it and read it. So there is called the wildcard operator, which is the like operator. Let's say you wanna fetch where the customer name like A, or customer name starts with A, Z, or it just not the start with A, maybe just ending with the A. So for those you can use the like operator. So in this example you say get me the customer name where customer names is like, means it starts with a J and then there could be any character after then. Or similar way you can put over here, that's mean where before is something else but it has a J in it, and then end doesn't matter to me, so give me that. So you can use this operator at anywhere. So next is the SQL case. So what is the SQL case does? Look into this very simple one. Let's say over here you have a table where you have saved the gender as M or F, but when you are pulling the record you really need to show the full like M for male and F for female. How you can then do it? You can use the case operator. You can say select whatever the field you have, like customer ID, customer name, and their address, comma, then case gender when M. When the record will have a M, then give me the male. When F, then give me the female, and then the from the table name. That is what the SQL case is for. It's very straightforward. And same way, either using the case operator or using the if else, you can perform the same set of operation. So you can just practice it. Let's say try this one, which is here. So what is day? It's a get the customer name, because we have a name field, when address is null, then maybe you want to say not known, else control C address, and you don't want any other field, right, from customers. So basically I have defined the city in every record. So let me enter a record where I am not going to define any city. I'm not defining any city over here. Okay, now run it. Do you see not known over here? This is how you can use the case statement. Okay, copy this too. Okay. Okay, hence we are done with the lecture 5. Thanks for watching it.